Hey VC, it's Jonathan, the Cheap and Cheerful Record Collector. I hope everybody's doing well out there and getting through this pandemic and everyone's happy and healthy. Making a lot of videos recently because what the hell else you got to do but sit and make videos, watch videos, and spin records. So I got a new record in the mail recently, and it was a pre-order, and it came signed. So I had an idea. I said, you know what? Let me do a video and show all my signed albums. About half of these I did not have signed personally. I picked them up at Goodwill and I saw them, they were signed, I grabbed them. Half of them I got signed personally. So we'll run through them here and let's give it a look. So the first one is, I saw this at Goodwill, and one of my favorite singers and musicians, I had to pick it up, and it's Prima. And this one was Sam Batera, who is his saxophone player, and it's signed right there. As you can see, Louis Prima, Sam Batera. Unfortunately, this is not the record that's inside. It's a different album altogether by Sam Batera. He's #1. So it's not this record, but I still had to grab it because the signatures are good and I really love my Louis Prima stuff. So glad to have that in the collection. Next one is, again, this one, I didn't even know this one was signed until recently. I've had this for a while. And it's a piano player out of England, and George Shearing. Sort of jazzy, a little bit schmaltzy, but not bad at all. And I had this, and recently I was looking through my records, and I just noticed that on the back, it's signed George Shearing. To Don. Warm wishes. So that's sort of cool, having a signed George Shearing album. So add that to the collection. Next couple are country albums that I picked up, again, at Goodwill. Didn't know anything about these artists, but because they were signed, I figured I'd give it a shot. This one is some guy called Martin Hollis, and it's called Nashville Sessions. Decent, not a bad album at all. I mean, I think he wrote maybe one or two of the songs. Most of them are covers, but not bad at all. And on the back, it's signed the Jim and Diane, the Jack and Diane, the Jim and Diane by Martin Hollis. And it's not a bad album at all, actually. Pretty decent. Next one, I couldn't leave this sitting there. I mean, how can you leave a record that's called Rural Rhythm presents Fiddlin' Buck Ryan with Don Reno and Red Smiley with that cover. And it's signed. So had to have that, and it's exactly what it looks like. It's a bluegrass fiddle music, and it's great, really good, and signed. Same thing with the next one. The next one's not as good album, but I decided to keep it anyway. It's Tommy Scott and Scotty Lee. Liner notes are by Lester Flatt, and signed on the back by the band. I guess a lot of country bands signed their records in concert. People would come in and they'd wait and they'd sign all the records for them. So that's sort of cool. Decent album. I don't play it a lot. Decent album. Next one is cool. This is by the Deputies, and they were Farron Young's backup band. This is the sounds of the Deputies. This is all instrumental album. And it's all signed on the back. And it wasn't until I was looking at it that I looked at the signature, and that is Vassar Clemens, which I had no idea he was in this band. So that's the cool part of the signatures. So there you go. The sounds of the Deputies, Farron Young, backup band, signed. Next one is a record I picked up from a friend. He had it signed to him, and he was selling his collection. I picked it up from him. And it's Wayne Hancock. Wayne Hancock does a lot of Western swing, rockabilly kind of stuff. Joe Ely, he hangs out with Joe Ely and all those kind of guys. This is a great album, really great album. And signed to Adam, who's my buddy, Wayne Hancock. So, pretty cool. Great album, really wonderful record. I gotta play this again. This is great. And the rest of them, all I had signed. This is the one I got recently. This was a pre-order, and I got the pre-order signed copy, and it's the new Pokey LaFarge album, and it's called Rock Bottom Rhythm. I'm sorry, Rock Bottom Rhapsody, and signed by Pokey right there. Different than a lot of his other albums. This is orchestrated, has full orchestration in it, which is sort of not what you expect from Pokey. I'm withholding judgment. I heard it once. I'm not sure I really dig it. I'm going to give it another listen. It needs a couple more listens, I think. Pokey LaFarge. Next one is a band out of Boston. They're called Jim Kweskin's Jug Band. In the band with Jim Kweskin is Jeff Moldar, and in the band at one time was a woman named Maria D'Amato, and she married Jeff and became Maria Moldar. They showed a movie at the Portland Museum of Art about last year about Paul Butterfield, and Jeff Moldar played in Paul Butterfield's band. Good film, interesting film. I love Paul Butterfield, so it's definitely worth seeing. And at the end of the movie, Jim Kweskin and Jeff Moldar came out and did a quick little concert at the museum, which was really cool. And I got to meet them, and I got them to sign the record for me. So this is, I think, their first album. Not sure the date on it. I'm going to say 63, 64. But there you go, Jim Kweskin and Jeff Moldar. About a year before that, at the Portland Museum of Art here in Maine, they had they showed a movie of this guy, and that's David Bromberg. And I guess David, for a while, left the music scene and focused on making fiddles and banjos. And the movie basically went through his early career into his banjo making and back to his career in music. And he was there and gave a little concert after the show was over. And I got to meet him, and he was happy to sign this album for me. That's his first album. There he is on the back. The young David Bromberg. That was pretty cool. Got to meet him. Next band is a band I saw play here, also in Portland. And that is the Hot Sardines. The Hot Sardines are sort of like a mix between, if you know, Pink Martini and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. So it's a big band swing music, great vocals, great instrumentation, and they give a really wonderful show. Just great. And met the band afterwards, and they were sitting there signing records, so I got this signed for me. It was pretty cool, like that. And the last one I have, every summer in Maine, there is a festival called the North Atlantic Blues Festival. And they have 2 days, always every Saturday and Sunday, usually the 13th or 14th that weekend in July. And they have like 6 bands play each day. And most of the bands I never heard of. Gotta be true. They always have a name close the show. One band, a big guy closed the show on Saturday, another one closed on Sunday. And one week when I was there, one summer I was there, John Hammond closed the show. So I got to meet John Hammond after the show, who gave a great show, and he signed this one for me. Actually, I went back to the car to get the record cover, and by the time I got back, there was no one in line, there was no one there, so John and I talked for a little bit, and I talked about seeing him in the mid-60s when we were both kids, and it was very nice. We sat around and talked for a little bit, and he was very pleasant, and really happy to sign the record for me. So he signed it to Jonathan, all the way from 1963, which is when I saw him, John Hammond. So that's my records I have had signed by artists. I'd like to see what other people have out there. I mean, I don't have John Lennon or, Paul McCartney or Dylan or Springsteen or any of the big names, but it's sort of fun to get some records signed by some of the artists you see and like. So I like to see what everyone else has. So maybe we can start a thread and people can show records they've had signed. Okay? Hope everybody's staying well out there. I want to thank all the new subscribers I have who take the time out of their day to watch my little videos. Okay? Hey, until next time, peace.